Yes, sir. Listen, bros. This woman right here is the prototype of a lot of toxic liberal females in the society. They might have been chasing a dream in their 20s. They failed or came up short. Now they're in their mid 30s. They still feel like they got a little bit of sexy left. They're going to show that off. And now they're going to create a podcast to where they talk about nothing but bullshit. They swear that they support the quote unquote black men. They love black men, but they have no man. They only want to talk about that bullshit when a brother's dead in the streets. Now they want to go to marches. Now they want to hold hands with Caucasians and all the people that they swear that they hate, but they don't love you, bro. They're not your friend. The heterosexual black man in this society is the enemy of the state. They want you to conform to all of these lifestyles. They want you to support homosexuality. They want you to support abortion rights. All of the bullshit destroying the community left and right, inside and out. They want you to conform to that bullshit. A good amount of these females are not your friend. They're going to try to use you. They're going to try to abuse you. If you got any else to offer to the discussion other than sports, who's your favorite fucking musician, they don't want to hear about it, bro. If you want to talk about how you feel like the man should lead the household, the woman should teach the children, we need to get back to traditional ways. We need to fall back off of voting Democrat. We need to really start thinking for ourselves. These women going to look at you like you got three heads. Brothers, you already know that you're peeping game out here, and you know that you're not for the shit that these females are around. A good amount of these females are taking shots buddy-buddy with all of these homosexuals, and that has nothing to do with you. But how can a woman be in support of this lifestyle and then try to build on the back end? How can you be for same-sex marriage and then talk about Black Lives Matter? How can you create in a community that there is no procreation happening? Not to digress. The baby made some comments at the Rolling Loud performance, and of course, it triggered a good amount of toxic females. If he made the comment directed at females, it would have been another day in the park. Brothers got to realize this. When you want to speak your mind, you got to tread lightly who you're around and who you're trying to catch the attention of. Even if you're trying to make your point and you want to go about your business, do as you choose. If you don't give a shit, more power to you. But what you got to understand is this. A good amount of females that look like this got their breasts out looking all nice and scrumptious. Yo, listen, don't let that fool you. They are toxic and they are not your friend. Because once you say something about what you don't support, you will get called all of the names in the book. But let's see what they got to say. These females are only your friend when there's something to benefit them. They're seeking some attention. Oh, they want to throw a black circle up on their IG to show that they're down with the cause. Blackout Tuesday. What the fuck did that shit solve today, bro? Not to digress.
I mean, I also wanted to discuss shock factor because for an artist that I've been championing since he came out, he's becoming like Future to me. Now, I don't believe in cancel culture, but there are artists that once they do enough semantics or enough talking to where I can almost see who they are as a person, I'll be like, nah, I don't really. You ain't right, and I'm not gonna support you for this. I would say it's DaBaby. So I do want to play a clip real quick before talking into it. But DaBaby had a few things during his Rolling Loud set. But I want to play one thing that he shouted out. And hold on, I wanted to start from the beginning. Let me start from the top.
You didn't show up today with HIV, AIDS, any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that'll make you die in 2-3 weeks. Put a cell phone light in the air. Lady, if your smell like water, put a cell phone light in the air. Fellas. Lights up. Fellas, if you ain't sucking in the parking lot, put your cell phone lights in the air. Let's be real about this.
Let's be real.
Yo, brothers, now you see you looking at her, Bridget Kelly on the left, looking real scrumptious and whatnot. Don't let that fool you from how toxic she is. She's gonna let you know right now.
This shit.
Who's that DJ? And why did we?
Well, he started off by saying, and this, of course, has made its rounds throughout the community. T.S. Madison recently responded to it. Shout out to T.S. Madison. I love her. But he started off by mentioning if you ain't got HIV, AIDS, or any of the diseases that kill you in 2 weeks, put a lighter in the air. Then brought it back to women, but then brought it back to if you're not sucking dick in the parking lot, also shout out, raise your cell phones in the air. And so to me, not only are you homophobic, but you're
See, so now he's homophobic because he made a comment that was directed towards the untouchables of today's era, and that is the LGBT gang. These people, these toxic females on this platform, they have to pander to this bullshit or they're going to get kicked off and replaced. These people have no spines. They have no morals. They're pansexuals and they go in any and every way just for a check and just to satisfy their soul for the time being. Meanwhile, their soul will never be satisfied. Black men got to understand this. If the baby would have said, if you a bad bitch and you ain't sucking no dick in the parking lot, put a lighter up, all the bitches would have been, I ain't sucking no dick, yeah, lighting all, flicking their bics and all that shit. This would have never been a topic of discussion. But because these dudes know that the activity that they're participating in is suspect, they always want to feel guilty about the shit that they're doing. If you're not feeling guilty about it, why does this have to be a topic of discussion, bro? All he said was, if you ain't a dude sucking dick in the parking lot, put your lighter up. Obviously, he got gay dudes there. So what is the problem? Oh, I get it. You guys are making it a problem. They're making it an issue. They're making it so that any heterosexual black man in this society, you cannot speak your mind. You better stay silent. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if there's a gay dude in the vicinity and he's being obnoxious, because as soon as you saying that he's being obnoxious, he's getting on your nerves. Oh, you homophobic. Does that, you see the type of bullshit and tactics that they're using?
A fucking pandemic. You're talking about an epidemic that has plagued the black community on for decades at this point. But not only that, you have a lot of people within that same community that fucking support you and probably fucking spent a lot of their hard-earned money after going through a pandemic to come out and see you. And this is the fucking shit you say? Shout out to you if you ain't got HIV, and shout out to you if you don't suck dick. So, okay, so not only are you homophobic, we also already see, and I want to get into it, you aligning with motherfucking Tory. You brought him out and played a Meg Thee Stallion and Tory song on top of that. And
it's been a year and some change later, and we still have not found out if Tory Lanez shot Meg Thee Stallion in her hoof. Do we not find that to be odd? Do we not find it to be odd that nobody was talking about Megan Thee Stallion until after she got, quote unquote, shot? Do we not understand the bullshit that they're talking about? But we're going to understand why she's mad. Tell him why you mad.
As you brought him out.
I would just like someone to let me know.
Bro.
What does water smell like?
That bitch said, yeah. Yeah, she country as shit, yo. But in all honesty, let's just make a guesstimate in what the baby meant when he said that if your vagina smells like water. I'm going to make the assumption that he's just basically saying that your vagina smells pleasant, like an ice cold water on a hot summer day. Because for the most part, a good amount of women in this era believe that their vagina cleans itself.
Actually, Dasani is not it.
Out of all the empty-headed things to say, because he's just a big old empty head at this point. Out of all the empty-headed things to say, if your pussy smells like water, anyway, I'm stuck on that because water doesn't have a smell to me unless it's.
But not only that,
Either
boy,
way.
you over here got a baby, sticking your dick in whatever, got a whole baby on the way with Miss Danny Lay. Like, I need you to know that a healthy pussy actually does have a smell. Period.
It doesn't smell like water.
Pussy never smells or tastes like water. And a good, healthy vagina, because, baby, I eat it. You want to smell down there. And what you don't want is it to smell like soap. You don't want it to smell like someone is trying to...
You don't want it to smell like Fabuloso.
So, fellas, you just peeped that, right? So, obviously, this pansexual on the right just lets you know that she eats vagina. And then she wonders why she's going to therapy. All of these women don't understand that they're killing themselves slowly because they want to be fluid with their sexuality, because your relationships ain't working with the man. So now you want to carpet munch as if that's going to help you. These toxic females are not your friend. Just because they go into the bar, they're bopping to the latest hip hop song, they're rapping the lyrics and whatnot, they're not your friend, bro. All of these caricatures in your lifestyle are just there. They're just that, caricatures. If you get sucked into that black hole, it's your fault.
To smell like coochie. So any nigga still going around here asking for pussy to smell and taste like water, I'm gonna assume You were out in that parking lot actually getting your dick sucked, and the baby saw you and was jealous.
And why do you know that? And the baby, why do you know that? Why do you know who's in the parking lot? Anyway,
he was mad he wasn't invited to the party, girl.
The part that's really problematic for me is the fact that people say things like this on, again, going back to what I said.
Talk your shit.
When you're on stage and you don't really have a ton of, and I'm disappointed in the baby because he actually has experience, a lot of performance experience.
Mm-hmm.
And the attitude has shifted and changed now. So because you're on a bigger platform, you think that you can just spew nasty, hateful speech during your set and your performance and not think that you still need to be accountable to all the people that paid to watch you, a lot of which could be gay. Also, anybody living with HIV and AIDS to only refer to it as something that's sexually contracted, painfully ignorant.
So how about this? Since we already understand that it can get contracted by sexual activity between homosexuals, why are we consistently glorifying the lifestyle of homosexuals, pansexuals, all of this shit, and then you want to complain about it? But I bet you if these females were to contract HIV and they're over here being sexually fluid and whatnot, they will, on a drop of a dime, call that man all types of fags, all types of slurs like there was no tomorrow. So what does that tell you on the flip side? They are not 100 in on this homosexuality lifestyle. It's all about feelings and emotions. That's why they always fall for the okie doke. So black man, understand this. These liberal females are not your friend.
Painfully ignorant. HIV and AIDS is not only sexually transmitted. Let's start there. That's number one.
That part. And straight people get it too, guys.
Straight people get it all the time. More people get it from blood transfusion. Anyway, I'm not gonna go into the medical.
Listen, fellas, this is why tragic mulattoes is a term. We're talking about two mulattoes right here that are tragic mulattoes going through what, the quote-unquote midlife crisis, and they don't know which way to support. They don't know right from left because of all this chaos and confusion that they are embracing. Don't let these bozos fool you, fellas, talking about straight men get it too. Let one of these women get contracted with HIV, getting dugged out, having multiple partners, being sexually fluid and whatnot. Let these females get rejected by one of you brothers and whatnot, and they feel like they should be getting accepted by any and everybody. What? They will call you gay. Oh, you must be gay. And when they say it like that, they're not saying it as no term of endearment. So what does that tell you homosexuals on the flip side? They only holding hands right now because all of y'all are craving attention. All of you are begging the white zaddy to come save you from the situation that you are in. Brothers, these liberal toxic females are not your friend.
He's not going to care about, that nobody else is really going to do the research on. All I will say is that hateful speech like that is exactly the reason why we go as hard for the LGBTQ plus community that we do, because there's so much misinformation that gets spewed and spread around diseases, around the culture, around homophobia. And it's just not,
It's enough of that, man. I'm going to cut it off here because, listen, fellas, you're going to hear it from the horse's mouth. You're going to see it on social media. You're going to see why these females are so miserable, because they support all of this confusion and bullshit. And they don't want nobody to tell them that it's confusion and bullshit because it's going to hurt their feelings. So you're just going to have to let them die alone, kill themselves slowly, whatever it is, just stay out the way. You're going to hear from these females that think just like her, Bridget Kelly, more than most, are going to go hard for the quote-unquote communities where no procreation takes place. The quote-unquote communities where they hold no ranks. So what does that have to do with you, straight black man, especially if you happen to be a family man? Yeah, these toxic females could catch your eye on social media because more than most of them are going to look good. Let's be honest and let's be real. But is the vagina going to be worth it if it's going to be a mega headache, especially when it's homosexuals attached to her because those are her best friends? Look at all of the backlash the baby is getting just for saying one line. And his DJ or his hype man was even worse when he was saying, "Some of y'all suspect in a motherfucker." That's what people really mad at, man. Not to digress, fellas. When I kick back and I think about the bullshit that these females talk about, all I could say is, man, I hope not that a man gets one of these females pregnant, because what are they going to teach your children? They're going to hope that the public school system is going to be their parent. They're going to hope that they could, quote unquote, snap back so they could hit the bars scene and all of that. How many females are getting pregnant and then 2 weeks later they're talking about they're looking for a man? It's stepdaddy season. The list goes on. All of these toxic liberal females are not your friend, black man, especially if you happen to be straight, you got morals, values, stand up for what you believe in, and you're not trying to go along to get along. Fuck what they talking about. That's why they're filling up prescriptions. That's why they're depressed. That's why they're seeking help from therapists. And there's nothing wrong with that. You do as you choose. It's enough of that. I'm out.